Happy Tuesday! It's the Prop Queen, Ariel Epstein, taking you till 6 p.m. Eastern Time here on the Prop Queen Pod. Running a little behind today because even though the video I posted of Marley was really freaking adorable, she has been a real pain in my ass today. This dog has gone out like all the time. My hair is a mess because we keep going in and out of the apartment. Whatever. You guys don't care. Hopefully we give out some winners today. I've got Mark Zinno joining the show. We're going to talk some Major League Baseball. We've got some props. We've got some sides. I forgot to do fishy lines. Maybe I'll do that live when we get to Major League Baseball stuff. I do have the odds from yesterday. So as Mark's talking, then I'll go through the cards, see what moved, see what didn't. I went to sushi last night with my friend. Actually, it was Kelly in Vegas's neighbor who came to town from Florida. So, got Sugarfish. If you guys have ever been to Sugarfish in Manhattan, so good. Great omakase. And because it was an hour and a half wait, we had a little more wine than I thought we should. So thanks, Sean Michael. He's in a good mood today. Told me I'm beautiful. That's really sweet of you. We've got some news in NFL to talk about, some WNBA props to give out as well. I guess we could start with the Indianapolis Colts, who said that Anthony Richardson's going to start preseason game against the Ravens, and then they're going to swap to Daniel Jones for the second preseason game. So as I told you guys, I love Warren Sharp's book. Warren Sharp's book to save my life. So I'm going to take an excerpt out of Warren Sharp's book on the Indianapolis Colts this year. And we're going to talk about what actually I have his digital version as well. So I guess I could show you guys. Let's see, share screen, share. Actually, never mind. I'm not going to do that. I'll just read from you guys. So, paid quotes. Okay, so Warren Sharp's book talking about the quarterback position. So he ranks them 27th. Anthony Richardson's completion rate over expected ranked dead last out of 43 qualified quarterbacks last year. So that's not good. Daniel Jones, they think is an upgrade according to this to Anthony Richardson, who Richardson completed a league low 47% of his passes. He led the league in inaccurate throws and had 8 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. Yikes. So at first I was thinking, why is this even a debate? Because Anthony Richardson sucks. But I'm trying to find some Daniel Jones stuff. The only player Jones finished ahead of last season in rating was Anthony Richardson. This is insane. So anyway, that's a really interesting quarterback situation going on out there in Indianapolis. Their receiving core, Michael Pittman, Josh Downs, Adonai Mitchell. They added Tyler Warren in the first round of the draft, Alec Pierce. This team's a disaster. I want to look at how many games they're currently favored in. So this season, it looks like the Colts could be favored in 4 games. Hi, Marley. It's a lot of dogs. Lots of underdogs, right? 4 games. It looks like the Colts could be favored in this year. The Dolphins, the Titans, the Raiders, and the Jags. Everyone else, dog. God, this team sucks. Their win total, 7.5. They had 8 wins last year, 9 wins the year before, 4 wins the year before that. It's under or nothing for me on the Colts this year. God, they're so bad. I hate any team that can't tell me who their quarterback is. Tell me who your quarterback is. I'm curious too about let's see if Props.cash has anything on Richardson. I doubt it. I doubt that they'll have. Why did I get signed out? Marley's sitting by her food right now. She thinks for sure that she's getting fed. It's hilarious. Anthony Richardson, nothing up yet for props. So fade all of that. Fade all of it. This also happened today. Jordan Addison is going to be allowed to be at training camp, but he's suspended because of the league's substance abuse policy. Solid job there. Another winner. Another one that, how? How do you not know what you're taking? I never understand this. How do you know what you're taking? We have every freaking resource in the world for you to know if you can and can't take a substance. Sorry. So it's Justin Jefferson, and you're supposed to be the number 2, Jordan Addison. Like, you had the DUI case. You had 20 touchdowns last year through 2 seasons. 20 touchdowns through 2 seasons. TJ Hawkinson's the other primary option in the passing game. He wasn't as involved after returning in week 9. Another offseason removed from his ACL tear. I mean, if you look at it, it's like Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, and Aaron Jones. Those were the passing options. Yeah, so he has the DUI case and now the substance abuse case. Dumb. Just absolutely dumb. The Vikings, damn. So you basically now are hoping JJ McCarthy, you've got Justin Jefferson and TJ Hawkinson. JJ McCarthy, by the way, let's see if he has a prop. Okay, I don't see a prop on him yet either for passing yards. Why are the Browns carrying 6 quarterbacks? Because they can until they can't. It's going to be fun to see who they cut. Can't wait to see that. Real pumped to see who they are. All that drama. Marley really wants to EAT. Sorry, Marley. Can't have it. You want to say hi? Hi. I know I have to do the show. You know, after the show, then you get fed. Okay. JJ starting this week. Great. I don't care about the preseason. I really don't. Like, you guys could all care about the preseason all you want. Preseason, like, the only thing I cared about was the Ravens win streak, and it was fun to bet it. But now that it's over, it's over. So I really don't care about, yeah, welcome to the Marley show. I really don't care. No, what? So when you have, yes, money to be made, and I'll have Yanni the Greek on, we'll talk some preseason NFL at some point. But JJ McCarthy starting in the preseason, is that really going to make or break how you really assess he's going to do in the regular season? No, it's not. Because he's going up against these backups and none of the starters. And I'm very interested about JJ McCarthy coming into the Vikings. Great coaching staff. Sam Darnold looked like an awesome quarterback last year under this coaching staff. But, like, I don't know. I will never understand. I won't be caring about the preseason. Okay, so Major League Baseball headlines today. Aaron Judge returns from the IL to serve as the Yankees DH. He's going to face Nathan Eovaldi, who was the pitcher of the month in July. Marley, enough of you. I'm reading the headlines of the day in baseball. Garrett Crochet makes his first start since July 26th as Boston opted to skip his last turn for workload management. He's won 5 consecutive starts, could surpass his 2024 innings total during today's outing. Chris Paddock is facing his former team 8 days after the Twins sent him to Detroit. Zach Littell makes his Reds debut after being acquired last Wednesday. Bo Bichette playing in his dad's old home park in Denver. He hit 2 home runs and posted his first career 6 RBI game on Monday. Bichette's 141 hits on the season on pace. Hits on the season, pace MLB 11 more than any other player. Got it. Pete Alonso is 1 homer shy of matching Darryl Strawberry's Mets franchise record of 252. Kyle Schwarber has homered 3 times in the last 2 days, taking sole possession of first place in the NL in home runs with 40. He's increased his lead on the RBI leaderboard to 94 and moving to within 4 points of the OPS leader, Shohei Ohtani. So that's something to look out for today in Major League Baseball. I don't know what you guys are saying in the chat today, but okay. Longest active hit streak, Giancarlo Stanton has 10 hits. Has a 10-game hit streak, and he's got a great matchup tonight, by the way. Giancarlo has 4 home runs, I think it is. Yeah, 4 home runs against Nathan Eovaldi, which is nuts. I know that Mark is going to talk a bit about that game as well between the Yankees and the Rangers. Yesterday in Major League Baseball, the Yankees ended up losing in extras 8-5. And Jake Bird, by the way, who pitched in that game, ends up getting sent down to AAA. So that trade was great. WNBA trades today. I don't know. Mark is not with a C. Mark is with a K. Mark with the C is the Yankees guy, not Mark Zinno. Mark Zinno does handicapping. Mark with the C is the bleachers guy at Yankee Stadium. Hey, Jose Perez, how are you doing? What else happened in baseball yesterday? The Astros finally won and shut down the Marlins 8-2. Some bets. Casey Mize, by the way, we hit the under on 4.5 Ks. The Twins, you guys were all doubting that they would still not strike out a lot. They did. They still didn't strike out. Despite all, Marley, stop it. Despite all of the losses in the Twins organization, they still didn't strike out a lot yesterday. So that was great. We also murdered Michael Soroka on his birthday. So that sucked. Marley, stop it. So we went with the over 1.5 earned runs on Michael Soroka's birthday yesterday, and he ends up getting hurt in the second inning. It's cough. Michael Soroka allowed 1 run in 2 innings yesterday and then got hurt. We should have hit that over. We should have hit the over. Yesterday, the fishy lines, the Yankees ended up losing, so that ended up cashing as a fishy line. I think the Padres and Diamondbacks was a fishy line, and the Diamondbacks did end up winning with Brandon Pfaadt on the mound at home, which doesn't surprise me there. And the other fishy line of the day, what was it? Houston, Miami? I forget. I'm so bad. The day ends and I just forget about it. But the fishy lines yesterday did well, so that was good. Today, fishy lines. I'm going to go through those while Mark is coming on. Let's get Mark on the show because I feel like a mess today, an absolute mess. And I have to go and get Marley ready because we're going to my parents' house at 6 a.m. tomorrow. So she could have a backyard and leave me the hell alone. So let's bring him on. My good friend, Mark Zinno. How are you, Mark?
Ariel, there's nothing more than I enjoy than spending time with you, but seeing you struggle, looking like a racehorse stumbling out of the gate is not what we expect to see from the prop queen herself. So we're going to get you back on track here. We're going to have a little fun. And,
Uh-oh. Hold on. You keep talking. I think my dog's throwing up.
Okay, there you go. Prop queen, I would not ever want to do it, but nonetheless, there we go. All right, we got a lot on the baseball slate tonight. I actually have 6 plays that I'm going to go over with Ariel tonight, including the Mets and the Yankees, who are both an absolute mess. Well, the Yankees are an absolute mess. That's part of the reason why I really wanted to get on this show today, was just to talk with Ariel about the Yankees and the absolute just disgusting mess that team is from top to bottom. But Aaron Judge is back tonight, so maybe we'll actually hear from Aaron Judge and somebody will get some accountability as this team continues to go through here. So, all right, let's get going with my MLB card here. I don't know if I think Ariel has it, but let's just start here with the Mets and the Guardians. I'm willing to lay a half run here in the first 5 with the Mets. Clay Holmes is probably one of their most consistent and reliable starters, particularly at home. This is a guy that allows opposing hitters to only bat 203 at home this year. This is not exactly a Guardians lineup, even though they've been hitting the ball well lately, that I'm necessarily concerned about. The Mets probably in, more of a little bit of a desperation mode here after the way they've played over the past couple of games. They lose a tough one last night in extra innings here. But I'm trusting 2 things. 1, that Holmes will be good early, and then 2, that they can get to Logan Allen, who's got a 4.06 ERA overall. He's got the same ERA on the road as he does at home, but has given up more home runs on the road than he has at home. And, the Mets should be able to get to him early here. And so I think that in general, there's a sense of urgency about the way the Mets are going to play tonight. And the Guardians, despite the fact that they are starting to enter themselves into the wild card race here, the Mets, I think, bounce back, get to him early. And, oh, by the way, the Mets have lost 4 of the last 5 starts with Clay Holmes on the mound. I think that changes a little bit here. And we get a fast start by the Mets, and let's see what their bullpen does. Cubs run line, first 5. 2 things you need to know here. Cubs after a loss this year. I know I'm only playing first 5, but Cubs after a loss this year. Best record in Major League Baseball, 33-13 straight up. That's 71%. They don't lose 2 in a row often. They lose a game last night, kind of in, Ariel just talked about Mike Soroka, but in a game where their bats don't hit, well, guess what? Zach Littell is pitching. I think this is his first start in a Reds uniform since the trade deadline, if I recall correctly. Yes, it is. And so this is a guy that had much less success on the road. He gave up 18 home runs on the road this year, away from where he was pitching in Tampa Bay. It's still a road game for him regardless. Doesn't matter what uniform he's wearing. So not a guy I think that the Cubs are going to have a problem getting to. And also that the Cubs have Imanaga on the mound. I think that they will get to him. And the Reds can't hit lefties. That's the other part too. So we'll take advantage early here. Try not to give the Reds more at-bats than they need to. Plus with the money line itself, laying 185 isn't really appetizing, and I don't really want to lay 1.5 here with the home team in this spot, although it's also correlated that the Cubs will get out to an early lead and they'll hold on to it. Blue Jays run line. Played this last night. Had no problem with it. I'm going to play it again. Plain and simple. Simply just because this is the Blue Jays get right series, right? They were on the struggle bus a little bit over the weekend. This was absolutely the perfect time for the Blue Jays to have to go to Colorado. They scored 15 runs last night. I don't see the reason why they're not scoring that again. Jose Barrios should have no problems here against a very bad Rockies lineup. But this is where the Blue Jays offense gets right and continues to pound the baseball over and over again. So I'm willing to lay the 1.5. Hell, if you're getting 2.5 or plus money, it wouldn't even scare me. The Padres money line here. Well, do you think that's a little crazy? I'm just saying it wouldn't even scare me at plus money to lay the 2.5. I mean, they should have no problem putting up 10 runs in this thing. That said, let's get on to the Padres here, Ariel. This one's a little scarier. I'm only kind of playing it because they lost last night. My biggest concern here is Ryan Nelson, who's been excellent, and I mean excellent at home. But the Padres' bats have been really good over the course of the last month, and I feel like after just 2 runs last night, they get right. Yu Darvish hasn't been great, but it was kind of a price point, too, that I couldn't pass up with the Padres. I think Arizona really still is going to be in free fall mode. They've obviously traded away a lot of pieces here. I think that the Padres bounce back tonight. But here's the kind of thing I'll know. Ryan Nelson, if he's on early, I'll know that the Padres are dead early. Arizona's bullpen does give us some outs late, which is worth looking at, but still at the price point, I like that number. I played the Tigers here, Ariel, because I think Minnesota will continue to be in a free fall. They've sold everything off. As much as Chris Paddock isn't somebody that you really want to trust, guess what? I'll take the Tigers bats against Zebby Matthews in a spot here where I get a favorable price on Detroit. I got them early this morning around like minus 135, minus 140. I know the line's moved a little bit. So I think Paddock gets us a more favorable number. You had any other Tiger starter on the mound? This is minus 180, minus 190, right? Against a Twins team that's in a free fall. So it's a discounted price. Willing to take it. Why not, Ariel? Rangers money line.
I just hate Chris Paddock.
I know. Everybody does. That's what everybody said to me when I said the Tigers today. They're like, don't trust Paddock. I'm like, I get it. I know. But I'm willing to roll the dice here that the Tigers bats will do more than enough against Zebby Matthews here. And even if they're leading after 5, I feel good about them holding the rest of the way. It's not a Twins lineup that scores a lot, especially since they traded away a lot of pieces. I think they're just kind of in mail-it-in mode the rest of the way, and I don't see them putting up much of a fight. Situationally, I think you get to find spots to play the Twins. I don't think this is one of them. And then Rangers money line because, well, Aaron Judge is not going to make a difference. Here's the funny part. I haven't looked at this yet, Ariel.
I love this. I saw that you brought on Rangers money line, and I was like, oh, of course, he's going to come out and beat the Yankees. But rightfully so. This team should be faded until further notice.
Well, first of all, Will Warren's on the mound. That's number one. And isn't this the most Aaron Boone thing ever? I said it this morning before the lineup came out. Here is the most Aaron Boone thing ever. Okay? Nathan Eovaldi, excellent pitcher, right? Great pitcher. Guess the one guy in this lineup, okay, who is batting 300 against him with an OPS of 950 and 4 home runs, 6 extra base hits, 11 RBIs, and 41 at-bats against him. Guess who it is?
Giancarlo Stanton.
Guess who's not in the lineup tonight?
Stanton's not in the lineup tonight?
What I'm looking at here on ESPN, I am seeing the Yankees lineup. Stanton is not in it.
That's why I couldn't find a prop on him. That makes sense.
Wow.
That is ridiculous.
I guarantee you, Stanton won't be in the lineup tonight. The only guy who's hit 4 bombs off of him, not in the lineup tonight because Aaron Boone should be George Costanza. Just do the opposite. Every instinct you have, Aaron Boone, do the exact opposite of it, and things will start to go in your favor because every instinct he has is wrong. Aaron, not in the lineup tonight. I knew he wasn't going to be in the lineup tonight.
How do you do that? He literally I have it in the packet and in my Prop Queen newsletter. He's had 2 doubles and 4 homers against him.
Yep. And he's not in the lineup tonight. I mean, it is an absolute
Well,
joke.
it makes sense because he's okay. So, like, the question is, where is he going to play? So, obviously, you want to have Judge at DH, but they said that Stanton was going to play the outfield, but I guess they just don't want him to.
It's typical Yankee stuff. It's typical. It's so
Judge
typical.
being DH is a nightmare.
I mean, there's nothing left. So I would take him in the first 5. Listen, I would with Texas, I would lay the 150 on the first 5 money line just to keep the tie in my back pocket if Texas doesn't score. But it's Will Warren. Will Warren's gone to the over 60 to 70% of the time this year. The Yankees do score a bunch from him, but I don't think they'll score off of Aldi. He's too good.
Which of these plays would you say is your favorite?
I think the Cubs first 5 run line here. Reds can't hit lefties. Zach Littell isn't good on the road. They only scored 2 runs last night. They should be good with Imanaga on the mound. There's a lot of things that fold into laying the half run there. And again, I said this earlier. I'm not sure if you were dealing with Marley or not, but on the season, the Cubs are 33-13. That's 71.7% straight up after a loss, meaning they don't lose back-to-back a lot. So they lost last night. I don't think they lose again here tonight, even though I'm playing only the first 5. Just it was too big of a number otherwise. So with Imanaga on the mound, so I had to kind of find a way to get me.
For some reason, Imanaga hates me, and every time that I bet Imanaga, I lose. No matter what it is, prop side, whatever it is, whatever I bet Imanaga, I lose every time.
Yeah, you know what that is? That's Bailey Falter for me. I can't. Every time I play on him, he stinks. Every time I play against him, he's Cy Young. So there are guys I just stay away from.
Earl Burton said he was 0 for last night, so he needs a winner. I'm sorry. We definitely need to get some winners. I'll talk about some props after for Littell and whatnot. You don't get nervous when it's a pitcher's first time starting for a new team?
Well, I'm not playing on him. I'm playing against him.
Okay.
So, I mean, I stayed away last night. Like, I stayed away from a couple of those last night, including Cade. I wanted to take the Phillies yesterday, but Cade Povich was coming back off the IL, and you never know how that's going to go. Typically, you don't ever play on the pitcher coming off the IL in his first start out, which for the audience who's been watching since the beginning of the year, I did several times with Spencer Strider. But nonetheless, I have to own it and wear it because all those starts he stunk. Regardless of that, I'm not playing on Littell here. And again, he's given up 18 home runs on the road this year. It doesn't matter what uniform he's wearing. He's just not good away from home. So the point simply is this wouldn't be a home game for him anyway. So I can play against that again with the Cubs and their bats going silent last night. I think they bounced back tonight. I stayed away from it again because I played it last night. Look, I played the Brewers team total over last night instead of playing them on the run line. But they only scored 3 runs. I think they bounce back. I don't trust the Braves bullpen at all. They got all 9 at bats again. I think their bats break out tonight against Joey Wentz.
I know that Shawn Michael is going to be happy about your Tigers money line play because Shawn Michael thinks the Tigers are going to go like 162-0 every year. So real happy to see that for him. But any player props that you would have your eye on?
No, I would have played Giancarlo Stanton to get it over 1.5 bases tonight. But, thanks, Booney. You're the best.
NFL, when do you start looking at it?
Do you even watch anymore?
What, the Yankees? No.
Yeah, I don't. You know what I do? I wait for the final score, and then I go online on Twitter to watch the reaction from everybody, and I get my entertainment there.
Well, last night I went out to sushi with Kelly's neighbor who is in town, so that was fun, and I missed the extra innings, thank God. And my friend got me into this Hunting Wives show on Netflix, so I decided that was better to watch for an 8-episode miniseries than to watch the Yankee season just crumble in front of my eyes.
Yeah, well, I'm watching the David Berkowitz tapes on Netflix right now, the Son of Sam tapes. Yeah, it's.
And you know what else? Like they say Hard Knocks is starting and the Buffalo Bills. And I don't even care about Hard Knocks anymore. There's just too many of them.
Hard Knocks stopped being good when they had Rex Ryan was the last time Hard Knocks was good. You need some sort of star level, some sort of guy that everybody can latch on to. And I don't know.
But wasn't it a thing that you had to be a non-playoff contender in order to be on Hard Knocks? Like why are the Bills Hard Knocks?
Well, they can ask anybody. Anybody can offer to be on it, but they can't force you to be on it. If you've been on it within the last, I think it's 5 years, or you made the playoffs within the last 2 years, there's only a certain number of teams each year that qualify for it. And so I think the Bills just decided they want to do it. But again, there is like a Hard Knocks jinx, I think. No team that's ever been on Hard Knocks has won the Super Bowl. So it's bad for the Bills.
Except the Ravens.
Yeah, no, they were on it the year after they won the Super Bowl.
No, the Ravens were they were the first Hard Knocks team, and they won the Super Bowl, and I think that was it.
No, they were on the year after, I thought, because Todd Heap was the draft. I remember that. I was cheering for the Ravens at that time. Todd Heap they won it in 2000, and I think they were the Ravens on Hard Knocks was 2001. They haven't been on since.
The first season of Hard Knocks. Wait, they were
just 2001.
Yeah, so
right?
yeah. So they ended up being on Hard Knocks the year after they won the Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't know. I'm out of it today, clearly. I'm so out of it. I haven't slept. The dog has cut me up. Bills missed their chance last year, they said. I don't know. I still think the Bills have a shot. I like the Bills this year.
Look, I've had to have this conversation with several people this offseason that winning in the playoffs is totally different than winning in the regular season. Okay, these are two different conversations to have. The Bills are going to be in the playoffs. Like the Bills, the Ravens, the Chiefs are all going to have a chance to win the Super Bowl this year. They're not missing the playoffs. So let's have the conversation about them getting there when they get there. Because
Did you bet any futures yet, or when do you start?
I've already. I got. You're not going to like this. You're not. I have a future on the Steelers to win the AFC North at plus 550.
You really trust that Aaron Rodgers stays healthy?
You know what? Yes, because I trust Arthur Smith. When they traded for Darius Slay, or was it not Darius Slay, Jalen Ramsey? When they traded for Jalen Ramsey and they got Jonnu Smith in the package, that's when I made the wager. Arthur Smith runs more 21 personnel than any coordinator in the league. 2 tight ends, 1 running back. He's got Pat Freiermuth, he's got Jonnu Smith. That for him sets up everything in the run game, which sets up his play action, which allows Aaron Rodgers to do rollout, which he can still do. He's still mobile enough to roll out. It sets up everything for him. Aaron Rodgers over 3,200.5 passing yards. As long as he stays healthy for all 17 games, he's clearing. He threw for 3,800 yards last year with the Jets. Desmond Ridder, who stinks, threw for 2,900 yards in 15 games for Arthur Smith. It's a very, very low number. It should be around 3,600. I think he goes well. The only thing you have to worry about is the injury.
Right. Well, he's a really tough, like week 14 to 16.
He should, by then, I still think he should be over the number. He knows how to protect himself. He's a year clear of the Achilles injury, which means that's only stronger. I don't have any reservations. Look, I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers is going to win the MVP, but Aaron Rodgers is going to play well enough here because he played well enough last year on a bad Jets team to keep this team or to make this team better than what people think. I saw an interesting prop bet today too, Ariel, and I'm curious your thoughts on this. The Ravens and Steelers matchup this year. The Ravens winning both was minus 190. Them splitting was plus 240, and the Steelers sweeping the Ravens was plus 650. Them to split at plus 240 looks amazing. How many times?
I would take them to split.
I think they split every year. I can't remember the last time one of those teams swept each other.
Ooh, I'd have to look back, but I could see them definitely splitting.
Yeah.
Plus 240 is a nice payout.
Yes.
I didn't even know that existed. I would take a look at that.
And oh, by the way, it's a great hedge situation because whichever team. Here's the problem, though. Here's the real hiccup with that. The Ravens and the Steelers play week 17. Remember or week 18, rather. Remember what happened last year in week 18 in the slop fest? Ravens didn't need the game. Steelers did. Like, that's the situation that makes that whole bet dicey, right?
Well, which one's the home game and which one's away?
I will tell you here in 1 second. For the Steelers, the home game is week 18. The road game is week 17, 16, week 14. At the Ravens is week 14, December 7th. And then that's the road game. And then the home game in Pittsburgh is the final week of the regular season.
So if they go home and home.
Yep. And again, the Ravens may not need a game at that point in time. And you might materialize the same.
I'm telling you, the Ravens are going to have a great regular season and then they're going to lose in the playoffs.
I mean, look, John Harbaugh said it best, right? And he's right about this. All you can do is put yourself in position, and when the chips fall, they may. You hope that they're on your side. Like, he's right about it. It's so hard to control winning in the postseason. Like, I kept having this argument with people about the Commanders, who I think are wildly overvalued. the Commanders were not an NFC championship team last year. I know they played in the game, but they won a game where the other team turned the ball over 5 times. That doesn't happen in playoff games routinely. It was like the Jaguars a couple of years ago when they almost beat the Bengals in the divisional playoff. Remember that year? How did they get to that game? Oh, I don't know, because Brendan Staley is an idiot, and the Chargers gifted them a 27-point lead and gave it right back to them. They should have never been in that game. So we think of these teams in their final result in what they are, and that's not reality. Why have the Bengals struggled since the Super Bowl? I don't know, because they had one of the luckiest Super Bowl runs I've ever seen in my life. In 3 games, they should have lost every single one of them on the way to that Super Bowl. They got aided by the refs, and a touchdown was pulled off the board against the Raiders. They survived 9 sacks and 4 missed field goals by the Titans to beat that game. And then they caught Patrick Mahomes having the worst second half of any game of his career in the AFC Championship game. Like, you can't get luckier than that. They were not a team that was a Super Bowl caliber team when they got there, and they're still not now. Oh, by the way, take the Bengals to miss the playoffs, because they will again.
Oh, okay. Hot take. Bengals missed the playoffs. Also, the chat seems to be really liking Major League Baseball right now. Anything stand out to you in the MLB futures market as we now are past the trade deadline?
I would take a flyer on the Padres to win the NL West. That's about the best I can come up with.
You are the 4th or 5th straight person to say that. I'm done. I'm out.
It's a sheer value play, Ariel. That's all it is. Like, it has nothing to do with anything other than the fact that the Dodgers are wildly mispriced. Look, I still think the Mets. I would take the Mets to win the National League, and the Mets to win the World Series. The only 2 teams, in my opinion, that really can beat the Dodgers are the Mets and the Phillies. That's it. And the Phillies, hopefully, if they've solidified their bullpen issues, they'll do that, because they're the only teams with bats enough that can match them run for run, game for game. So I like the Mets to win the NL as well. But again, the Dodgers are not $4 and $5 better than every other team in Major League Baseball. But that's the way they're priced. They're just not that much better. That doesn't mean they won't win in the postseason. But if I go roster for roster, player for player, starter for starter, cleanup hitter for cleanup hitter, they don't clear a $4 margin, $5 margin against every other team. So they're completely mispriced, which means you're getting a better number on the team that is in second. Hey, Joe, I have the Padres over 86 wins. I bet that prior to the season starting. So
I hate this team. I hate the Padres.
I do too. I was
every freaking year. I bet this team, and they don't end up hitting my bets every year, and I just am so done. But every time I ask somebody on the show or on VSiN, I say, "What do you like in the futures market in MLB?" Everyone says the freaking Padres.
I also have the Reds. I had the Reds to win the division. They're not going to, but I also took the Reds team total over 83 wins. So,
yeah, that I felt like the Reds were a relatively public team preseason, but I think that win total should cash on the Reds. I thought they had some value to make the playoffs in the preseason, but they are another team. I love Tito, and everyone was betting on Tito. Right now, the Cincinnati Reds are 3 games back of a wild card spot.
If I had to ask you to put a future on Seattle or Texas to win the AL West, which one would you take?
Seattle.
See, I would take Texas.
I love the Mariners. Of course, are they going to disappoint? Probably. But on paper, they are the most well-rounded team in that division.
I mean, look, Texas's pitching has given up the fewest runs in Major League Baseball this year. And I think that continues. Texas got to find a way to win on the road. They're awful.
No, there's definitely value on the Texas Rangers, and I said that before the trade deadline. I wish they did a little bit more. Mm-hmm. I didn't really love that. What was it? Merrill Kelly was a good pickup for them. I didn't love that they didn't do much more, though. Like, they needed a little bit more to that bullpen.
I wish they would have done that, but, again, their hitting has started to come on. Like, over the last month, they've started to really hit the ball. And
the problem is their lineup's really not that terrible. They just haven't been hitting.
Right, and that's the point. But Texas,
which is what I would take any day over how the Yankees are playing. I'd rather my lineup just not be hitting, because eventually you have to regress to the mean or progress to the mean. And their lineup, like, you've got Marcus Semien, Josh Young, Corey Seager, Wyatt Langford, Adolis Garcia, Jock Peterson. That's not bad. They're just not hitting.
The 3rd most runs since July 1st of any team in baseball, behind Toronto and Milwaukee. Strangely enough, the Yankees are right behind Texas in 4th, which makes absolutely no sense.
I know that the Rangers had value. I said it before. If they have the manager for sure. They've got the staff. They've got the names. And the pitching is pretty good with DeGrom, Evaldi, and Merrill Kelly. I don't mind it. Jack Leiter's having a better year than he has in the past. I don't hate the Rangers, but I just feel like the Mariners, right now, it's the Mariners season to lose. Like, they on paper look really good. They had a great deadline. They've improved the lineup. And right now in the futures market, let's see where we could get the Mariners. Plus 550 to win the AL. The Rangers are 12-1.
Oh,
I don't think they win the AL, though. I really don't.
No, I don't think they would. But again, I mean, here's the thing about the Rangers. You just went down
Mariners plus 175, Rangers 6-1. They're kind of far back, though, in that division. Not to say that it can't happen. Anything could happen. The Yankees lost the division in a month after being up 10 wins.
4.5 back, the Rangers of the Astros to win the division. It's not insurmountable by any stretch. But again, the Rangers to win the AL, here's what's interesting, because there's a path for like 6 or 7 teams, maybe even 8 teams to win the American League, right? If you give me the team with the best pitching, I would take them. And that's what the Rangers have. I mean, they're 1, 2, 3 in a postseason series, I think is as good, if not better, than any other team in the, maybe the Tigers are the only team that matches with them.
So Texas Rangers, Mark Zinno's team to bet the futures, MLB, Pittsburgh Steelers, his team in the NFL. Oh, goodness. You come on and you bet against the Yankees today. You bet against the Ravens today. Like, how does this happen? I invite Mark on. I already am having a day where I had a migraine this morning. I slept 4 hours last night. Marley just threw up in the middle of my show, and Mark Zinno is betting against the Yankees and the Ravens.
Am I wrong for betting against the Yankees? Am I wrong? Okay, thank you.
I'm curious, though. Let me see if there's any kind of fishy line. So Yankees last night were plus 114, and hold on, I'm going. I follow it on the FanDuel line, so I feel like it's the most public book. The Yankees plus 108. So the line moved a little bit in favor of the Yankees today, Mark. Minus 126. It was minus 134 last night. It's not a big move. The line's moving in their favor today.
Will Warren. He's not a major league starter.
Yes, he is.
He's barely a major league starter.
The only reason the Yankees should lose is because Giancarlo Stanton is not in the lineup against the pitcher that he has 4 home runs against. But
that's okay. We'll sit him in the 8th against one of the better bullpens in baseball, and we'll wonder why he strikes out.
Funny story, when Nathan Evaldi was on the Yankees, I was doing what's called Hope Week with the Yankees, which is their week that they do all the fundraising, like all those charity events. Mm-hmm. So we had to make cookies. And Nathan Evaldi, I was in charge of making sure that Evaldi didn't burn his hands putting cookies in the oven. I was like, put the mitts on, Nathan. We can't have you burning your hand. That was 2015. That was 10 years. Wow. Isn't it crazy? Like, Nathan Evaldi to me is like this young pitcher, and he's not.
No, he's not. He's been around forever. And it feels like
10 years ago was when he was on the Yankees. God, that's crazy. I assume you don't do tennis. Jose Perez asked if we have tennis plays.
No, I go to Pam Maldonado for my
tennis. Pam Maldonado's got the tennis. What's even on right now in tennis? We've got US Open coming up.
Yeah, that's the only place you need to go for tennis betting is Pam Maldonado. So
when does I need to find, so I actually told my grandma that I would be getting her, I'm surprising my grandma with tickets for her birthday, August 24th. Nice. So we've got some time, August 24th until the US Open. Anyway.
Coming up on Virgo season, Ariel. It's our time to shine.
I know. Mark and I are Virgos. It's when's your birthday again?
I'm like 2 days before you or whatever. I'm September 2nd. Oh, no. Okay, you're the 14th?
No, I'm the 16th.
Okay, I'm 2 weeks before you. I'm the 2nd.
I knew. What are you, the 2nd?
Yeah, the 2nd.
Okay. You're like less than a month away. It's weird. I feel like this year flew.
I don't know. My kids are going to be 10, so Jesus.
Oh my God. Happy almost decade fathers.
I've listen, the Army has given me a gun for over 25 years and I've kept 2 humans alive for 10. I feel like I'm winning.
That's amazing. To keep the humans alive for 10 years. I can't believe Kelly in Vegas is alive after how many years I'm not going to expose her age, but hey, it's amazing sometimes how long people could live. Mark Zinno, thanks as always for coming on the show. And thank you for holding down the fort while Marley was puking all over my apartment.
You got it. No problem. See you soon.
Telling you, this day, it just needs to end. This day needs to end. Marley's in the crate right now. I'm hoping she's not throwing up all over her crate. I switched her food this week. I knew maybe there'd be an issue, but she's been perfect all day. She was sitting right here, and then she goes and just randomly pukes on the rug. So that'll be fun to deal with. What'd you say? 1 for 14. Wow. Did Marley eat something she shouldn't? I don't know. Probably. I hope not. I didn't see her eat anything bad. I just changed her food. So maybe she's just like, her stomach is not used to having new food. I don't know. Whatever. This isn't. Anyway, let's get to some winners for tonight. I've got to give you some WNBA action. I've got some Major League Baseball props to give out. And then I need to just like somehow end this day because I am freaking exhausted. WNBA props could be, give it a couple of days. Yeah, and I have this stuff I could sprinkle on her food that helps with your stomach. So I'm going to do that tonight with her food when I feed her because she's still going to eat her dinner, I'm sure. No, throwing up doesn't impact dogs. They will eat anyway. Need coach for trade out. Okay, I'll talk to coach tomorrow about that. Anyway. So we've got a few WNBA props tonight, and I've got some props.cash graphs to show you guys to complement these props. So first we're starting with Natasha Howard to go over 11.5 points. Here's the props.cash. Here's the props.cash chart on her. Howard's averaging 12.7 points per game on the road this year, hitting the over in 60% of games away from Indiana. She's also cashed this over in 3 games in LA, dating back to 2022, averaging just over 16 points a game. The Sparks are the worst defense in the W, allowing 88 points a game. So Natasha Howard, look to her over there. Kelsey Mitchell, look at all this red on her. Kelsey Mitchell to go under her points, rebounds, and assists, which is at 26.5. She's been terrible in her career against the Sparks, averaging just over 21 points, rebounds, and assists against them, 18.5 when in LA. In LA, Mitchell has gone under in all 4 games. And the Sparks are top 5 in rebounds allowed to their opponents, so she shouldn't be grabbing many boards anyway, like 1 to 2 max. Lastly, Jessica Shepard, for her to go under 10.5 points tonight. Lynx at Storm, 10 p.m. Eastern time. Shepard's put up just under 8 points per game on the road, going under an 8 of 12 this year in that spot. She's averaging just under 7 points a game on the road in her last 10, going under in 8 of those games. Shepard's actually never gone over 10.5 points in Seattle in her career. She's averaging about 5 points a game. And the Storm are a top 3 defense, so I wouldn't expect much scoring there. So I'd be looking at Jessica Shepard to go under her 10.5 points tonight. I have to add Major League Baseball stuff because, again, with the graphics, I can only upload things 10 at a time. So now I have to do my production work while you guys sit here and wait while I get all this stuff put up. We've got 5 hitter props to get through today and 3 pitcher props. And then I'll tell you guys about the good matchups and the bad matchups of the day, which Mark and I already discussed how one of the good matchups isn't even going to play because it's the Yankees. And Aaron Boone decided that just because Giancarlo Stanton has good numbers against Nathan Eovaldi, we're going to sit him because Aaron Judge is going to come back tonight. And I get it. They want Judge and it makes sense. But like, whatever. This team's really freaking annoying. Bobby Witt Jr. So we've got the Kansas City Royals today taking on the Boston Red Sox. And Bobby Witt is crushing lefties this year, hitting .387. So he's hit this over in 67% of starts against lefties, including 64% of games when he's on the road at night against lefties. He's averaging 2.5 hits, runs, and RBI against Southpaws this year. And Witt Jr. is hitting a career 289 at Fenway, coming off a hot July, hitting 352. Also in that game on the Red Sox side, you've got Trevor Story, who you could go over his hits, runs, and RBI. He's off to a hot start this month, hitting 462, 2 doubles, 1 homer, and 4 ribbies. He's averaging just over 2 hits, runs, and RBI at home this year, going over 1.5 in 4 of his last 5 games. We've also got Christian Walker, who also has a really good matchup tonight. He's 5 for 9 with 2 singles, 1 double, and 2 homers in his career against Cal Quantrill. The Astros are at the Marlins tonight, 6:40 p.m. Eastern time. Walker's averaging 2 hits, runs, and RBI in games on the road at night against right-handers. On the road at night, Walker has gone over in 5 straight and 9 of his last 10, so he's doing really well right now. St. Louis, Nolan Gorman, for him to go over his hits, runs, and RBI, it's only at a half, which is why it's minus 140. They're at the Dodgers. He's averaging just over 1 hit, run, and RBI on the road against righties at night. He's hit this over in 10 of 17 games in those spots. Went on 1 day of rest. He's gone over in 6 of his last 10. And the one player that will fade tonight is Cal Raleigh. I know that he's having a great year. He's up there in homers. But where do I have Cal Raleigh's numbers? Damn it. Okay, hold on. So here's the Cal Raleigh chart. You can see 60% of games have gone under at home at night against the righty, and 7 of the last 10 have gone under as well. So definitely take a look at fading Cal Raleigh tonight. Okay, some other players. So good matchups. I mentioned Christian Walker. Freddie Freeman also hitting 450 with 3 homers against Miles Michaelis. So you could look at his over hits, runs, and RBI. He's averaging about 2 at home at night and has cashed the over in 60% of games at home against the Cardinals since the start of last year. Mookie Betts hitting 400 against Michaelis. Otani hitting 500 against Michaelis with a double. Xander Bogaerts hitting 364 with 2 home runs and a double against Ryan Nelson. Fernando Tatis Jr. hitting 462 with 3 doubles against Ryan Nelson. Jackson Merrill 4 for 9 with a double and a homer against Nelson. Corbin Carroll hitting 533 with 2 doubles and 2 homers against Yu Darvish. You could look to Carroll over his hits, runs, and RBI. He's averaging just over 2 hits, runs, and RBI at home this season. It's up to 2.6 in his last 5 home games, going over in 4 of 5. Bad matchups tonight. Ozzie Albies, 1 for 14 against Freddie Peralta in his career. Teoscar Hernandez, 1 for 11 with a homer and 4 strikeouts against Michaelis. Anthony Volpe, 1 for 14 with 7 strikeouts against Nathan Eovaldi. Luis Arraez, 1 for 12 against Ryan Nelson. You can look at Arraez under 1.5 total bases. It's minus 128. He's gone under this in 6 of his last 10 road games. And Geraldo Perdomo is 0 for 15 with 7 strikeouts in his career against Yu Darvish. So those are some good and bad matchups of the day. Yankees, the line's moving in their favor a little bit. I'm not betting against them, but I'm not betting on them. So just saying, I won't be surprised if somehow the Yankees, who know Eovaldi well, not only was he a Yankee, he was also a Red Sox, and they've faced him multiple times since he's been a Ranger. Here, I'll read you guys what MLB has on that game. Let's see how. I'm just saying the line's moving in the Yankees' favor a little bit, despite them sucking. The line moved against the Yankees yesterday. So I said the Yankees were a fishy line yesterday, and they were. They lost in extras, even though it was Max Fried pitching. Aaron Judge is back. Yay. Even in the absence, let's see, blah, 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 blah. Yankees lost 6 of 10 during Judge's absence, including losses in each of their last 4 games. The Yankees bullpen has allowed 15 runs in 16 innings. Bird gets sent down to AAA. The Rangers have won 7 straight, 11 of their last 12 at Globe Life Field. Nathan Eovaldi, pitcher of the month, went 5-0 with a .59 ERA this month. His 1.49 ERA on the season is by far the lowest of any pitcher with 100-plus innings. Nothing about his numbers against the Yankees. I'd have to look that up. Warren struggled on the road. Yeah, there's nothing that bodes well for the Yankees statistically, except the fact that the line moved a little bit in their favor. Would I be betting them? No. I have absolutely zero interest in the New York Yankees. I didn't get to do fishy lines myself today and really break it down, but I'll just go live and see if any lines moved. So the line moved against Logan Webb and the Giants. It moved minus 158 to minus 144, and I would assume the Giants are the public side. So you know what? I'll run this thinger. I paid for it. So fishy lines. So yes, be careful of the New York Giants. Oh my God, the San Francisco Giants today. I don't like that line move at all. The Giants have lost 15 of 20 games dating back to July 9th, the worst record across the majors in that span. The pitching staff has a flat 5 ERA. The bullpen has allowed just over 15 runs. That's an 8.59 ERA in that span. Yikes. The Pirates have won all 4 meetings against the Giants this season, all coming within the past 8 days. That's crazy. The Pirates have won 10 of their last 13 games. That includes victories in 6 of their last 7 at PNC Park with a 1.38 ERA in that span. Okay. Webb is 1-2 with a 7.29 ERA over his last 4 starts. Opponents hitting .341 against him. He's 1-0 with a 1.37 against Pittsburgh in 3 starts since 2022, though. Pittsburgh's bullpen held the Giants to 2 runs over 8 innings on Monday after Johan Oviedo lasted 1 inning. I'm telling you, be careful of those Giants today. Just be careful of the Giants. What other live lines are we looking at? So Astros -112 to -108. Not enough of a move for it to stand out to me. The line moved -162 to -142 against the Tigers. I like to see that. You'll see why on my pitcher prop. But line moving 20 cents against the Tigers. I'm sure they're the public side as well against the Twins team that has had a fire sale. So be careful of the Tigers today. The Athletics, it was +120, now +114. Nationals, Mackenzie Gore on the mound. Nationals -142 to -134. So line moving a bit against the Nationals as well. The Orioles, that stayed put with the Royals, Red Sox. That line was Red Sox -240. Now it's -250 Red Sox with Garrett Crochet pitching. That also bodes well. Actually, no, it doesn't bode well for a prop I have. I'll talk about that too. Cleveland Guardians and New York Mets. The line was the Mets -188. Now it moves to -162. So big move against the Mets as well against the Guardians last night. Brewers stayed the same. Reds and Cubs. Cubs were -178. The line moved in their favor to -184. The Yankees, I said it already, Yankees, Rangers. Rangers were -134. Now they're -126. Line move a little bit in favor of the Yankees. Rays and Angels stayed the same. Padres, D-backs stayed about the same. White Sox, Mariners stayed about the same. And the Cardinals and Dodgers about the same. So I would say the lines to be most wary of today is the Giants. That line moved against the Giants. The line moved against the Tigers. The line moved against the Nationals. The line moved against the Mets. Yeah. And a little bit against the Rangers. So definitely be careful of those fishy lines today. I would stay away from any of those favorites. That's for damn sure. Pitcher props. Zebby Matthews over 4.5 hits allowed. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt like we got hurt yesterday with Michael Soroka. Zebby Matthews over his hits allowed. He owns a 6.63 road ERA. He's cashed this over in 3 or 4 road games, and the Tigers are averaging 5 hits per game against starters this year. Detroit's righty Chris Paddock under 4.5 strikeouts. Paddock had just 2 strikeouts against Toronto and the Cubs. Those are 2 low K rate teams. And righties, 55 unders, 31 overs, averaging just over 4 strikeouts to start against Minnesota. 7 of the last 12 starters to face the Twins since the All-Star break went under 4.5 Ks. And Kansas City's righty Ryan Burkert over 3.5 strikeouts. The number's just too low facing the Red Sox. Since the All-Star break, every pitcher to start against Boston's had at least 4 strikeouts. This is the most strikeout-prone lineup Burkert's seen this year. Righties are averaging just over 5 strikeouts a game against the Red Sox. Again, the number's just too low, so Burkert should have at least 4 strikeouts. 4 minutes left. That means it's Royal Locks. I will give you guys my best bets of the day, which I basically just said. It's always pitcher props. I know that I gave out the WNBA. I gave out some hitter props. But my best bets are always pitcher props because that's what I rely on the most. So, Royal Locks. Royal Locks, these are my 2 favorite pitcher props tonight. Obviously, they're strikeout props. Chris Paddock had just 2 strikeouts against the Cubs and the Blue Jays. So, he should do it again against the Twins, who I know it's a revenge game, but he should still go under against a team that really doesn't strike out that much. And they still didn't strike out yesterday. Ryan Burkert over 3.5 Ks. The Red Sox averaged just over 5 strikeouts a game against righties. If this was 4.5, I would stay away, but 3.5 just feels way too low against the Red Sox team that does strike out a lot more than the average. So go with the over on 3.5 Ks there. Now I have to go make sure that my dog is okay. I'll keep you posted tomorrow. I'll be at my parents' house tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. I will see if we could get on Coach to talk about some WNBA trades, to talk some WNBA props, and we'll have more Major League Baseball as always. NFL season almost here, college football season almost here. Really pumped about that. Make sure you guys could sign up for me and Kelly's Hitter Survivor contest on Splash Sports. It was so much fun the first time, and if we get the full amount of people to join, it's up to $15,000 to the winner of the Survivor pool. It's only $15 to sign up. You can get up to 10 entries. Really fun. All you have to do is pick for one batter to get a hit every day. $15,000 if we get enough people to sign up. So go sign up on the Splash Sports page. It's on the main page, or you could find it at Kelly in Vegas. I think it might be on the Prop Queen as well, but it's on my X page. So go to my X page, Ariel Epstein. I put the link under the video that I retweeted. So go sign up for the hitter contest. It'll be fun. Thanks, guys. Have a great night, and hopefully I'll be a lot more awake and on more than 4 hours of sleep tomorrow. Good luck with your